Today I'm going to be sharing some new meal prep recipes. These are one pan dishes, really simple to make, super tasty. And if you're in a calorie deficit at the moment, you're trying to lose weight, but you don't want to be eating bland, plain foods, plain chicken, I've got you covered in this one. I'll go through what you'll need for each recipe, super quick, simple, and all in one pan. So we'll jump straight into the recipes and I hope you enjoyed this video. I've been to the supermarket, grabbed everything that I'll need for this recipe. I'll run you through the ingredients. So the first recipe is going to be a chicken tomato curry with lots of garlic and flavour, but not any spice. I'm not a big fan of spicy curries, and this is my take on a leaner chicken dish with half the calories of a normal curry that you'd get from your takeaway. I absolutely love a takeaway curry, may I add, but if you are currently trying to maintain a calorie deficit and lose fat, here is a lower calorie, not neglecting the taste side of a curry. So we're going to need some extra virgin olive oil, some lean chicken breast, 2 onions, some ginger, some garlic, some yogurt or Greek yogurt, whatever you have got in, some chopped tomatoes. I'm just using a tin of chopped tomatoes, tomato puree, fresh coriander. I think this makes such a difference in curries. Then for the seasonings, I'm using coriander powder, some turmeric powder, ground cinnamon, and some chili flakes, which are optional. Okay, so I want to just peel our garlic. You could use more or less garlic, depends on what type of person you are. In my opinion, there's no such thing as too much garlic. There's actually so many health benefits as well to garlic, and I think you can taste the difference between, I like the big chunky pieces of garlic rather than like the little itty small ones. So we'll go for about 3.5 garlic cloves, and I'm just going to quickly peel off the skin off the ginger. You just want like a thumb kind of size of ginger, and then just grate the ginger. I'm also going to grate my garlic. I just find that a little bit quicker than chopping it into teeny tiny bits, and dice our onions as well. And then, oh, that is very hot. Just taken my large curry pan, these are actually new, I'm loving them, and added a little bit of olive oil spray, and then I'm just gonna add my chopped onion, garlic and ginger to this array. And then just whilst I'm waiting for the onions and ginger to cook, I'm just gonna slice up my chicken breast. This is a really quick and lazy way of chopping up your chicken into smaller little bite-sized chunks. And I've got 600 grams of chicken breast here. You could also use like chicken thighs if you prefer flavour. They're a little bit more fatty, so tend to be a bit juicier, whereas this is a leaner meat. Once this has softened, I'm just going to add my chicken breast in. This is why having a really big pan is super helpful when you are meal prepping, just so that you can get more meat in there and things aren't spilling out. And then before I add the seasoning, I'm going to cook this for about 3 minutes, the chicken breast. Whilst I'm waiting for the chicken to cook, I'm going to add my seasonings. So I'm using a teaspoon of turmeric. Be careful not to get that all over your clothes. I can't believe I'm actually wearing white pants right now. A teaspoon of coriander powder, chili and garlic flakes combined, cinnamon. I'm just going to add an additional teaspoon, like half a teaspoon of curry powder. My chicken's nice and brown, so I'm going to add my seasoning in and then just mix that round for about a minute or so. Goal with your seasoning as well, if you find sometimes you feel like you don't add enough, is you want it to completely change complexion. That way you know it is well coated. You don't want it to be that pale chickeny colour, so don't be afraid to add a little bit more seasoning if you need. Then I'm adding a full tin of chopped tomatoes in there, 2 tablespoons of tomato puree, 70 grams of passata, tomato passata. Let it simmer for about 20 minutes or so. I'm just going to move it onto a lower flame hob, hopefully without setting anything alight. And then I've just popped some rice on to boil, unless you've got some ready-made rice that you could just pop in the microwave. And then I'm adding 200 grams of the yogurt. Oh my God. And I'm just chopping up a handful of coriander. I think this is so nice in a curry, but obviously you don't have to add if you're not the biggest fan of coriander. You could just put a little bit on top, sprinkled. Oh, this makes it so nice and creamy, and with it being it's not cream based, so it's literally half the calories but still full of protein, being a yogurt base. So the next recipe is a chicken alfredo pasta meal prep. This is literally the most satisfying thing, and it's a lot lighter than your usual super rich alfredo. So you're gonna love this, and like I say, one pan, very quick and easy. We love that. I'll show you what you need for this one. So for this, we're going to use extra virgin olive oil again, 600 grams of chicken breast, some salt and pepper. I'm using pink salt Himalaya, which is so nice. A chicken stock, or you could use chicken broth, a little bit of flour, some Parmesan cheese, which is already pre-grated, some milk, whatever you have got. If you want to go for plant milk, you do you. And then some penne pasta, or whatever pasta you've got in your cupboard, some fresh spinach, 4 garlic cloves. Start by heating up a pan with some oil, and I'm going to use about a tablespoon of olive oil, just using this spray, and I'm just going to add the chicken breast. I just chopped that up the same way I did the last one, with my scissors, into little chunks, and then I'm just going to season this with some salt and pepper, and then just wait until that turns all brown and cooked. And grate my 3 cloves, taking my chicken stock, oh, it's all crumbly, and popping in a glass, and then I'm just going to add some water, 300 millilitres of water. Give that a mix around. Just put in the cooked chicken, setting this aside for just a sec. And in the same pan, I'm just adding in my garlic as well as my flour, and then I'll just give that a mix around. Then I'm adding 300 millilitres of milk, and then I just turn the heat up until this reaches a boil, and then it can thicken up now. So I'll just turn that heat down and let that thicken. Oh, it looks so nice. And then I'm just going to pop some salt and pepper. Now this has got nice and thick, I'm just going to add in a handful of spinach. So there's about 90 grams of spinach here, and then just let that kind of wilt in. Just taking that off the heat, and I'm going to add in my cooked pasta there. I'll pop the measurements in for the pasta. Oh, this looks so good. And lastly, 17 grams of Parmesan. You could add more or less. Okay, now for the best bit, which is plating them up. So I measure the dry rice, and then I will just split between 4 portions, if that makes sense. I'm just using this Tupperware that I have in the cupboard. I do love the glass Tupperware. I need to order some more actually. Taking this kind of soup spoon, and same again, so I measure when I'm tracking my macros, I measure all the ingredients I put in, like the raw chicken, and then I just divide between however many portions. So in this case, 4, and these are really good, generous, decent portion sizes. I think it's always better to do high volume, especially if you are trying to maintain a calorie deficit at the moment. That way you just find you're actually full up, and you're less likely to, you know, say like binge on loads of random stuff later on in the day. Got a variety of sizes. I do prefer it when they're all like the same matchy, but we keep it real. So I've got my plastic containers. These are so good because you can just put them in the fridge, freezer, take them with you on the go to work. I would really recommend the glass containers though, definitely. So I've just got these out, and then I've just been nibbling on this. Oh, it is so good. Like real tasty. And same again, just dish out into 4 individual containers. Also, if you're someone who doesn't really like your greens or things like spinach, this is amazing because you can't taste that spinachy taste whatsoever, and it just really wilts in. You could add way more. Mason's just got back. He can do taste test. Honest truth. What are you rating it out of 10?
15.
So nice, isn't it?
I don't really eat pasta either.
No, but this.
Well, for me.
No. Really nice?
Quite fresh.
So here are the finished recipes. Hopefully I won't tip them over right now or spill them. And I feel like my kitchen and entire apartment smells like a mixture between an Italian pizza house and curry house. It's very spicy in here. I just took the bins out and came back and I was like, oh, I can't quite tell. It smells amazing in here anyway. These are packed with protein, really high volume, healthy meals that could be had for either dinner or lunch or even breakfast if you're a savoury person. Something I did want to mention as well is pasta. I remember when I was like not the most educated when it came to my nutrition, and when I first got into fitness, I always thought, oh, you can't have pasta. And I had this really terrible connotation with carbs, and you can absolutely have pasta and eat lovely nutritious meals that are full of flavour whilst hitting your fitness goals. It is 100% possible, and you can just make little swaps here and there, like swapping out cream for yogurt is such a good one, and you still get that creamy texture and taste. So yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Do let me know if you try any of these. Be sure to tag me on my Instagram. I'd love to see your recreations. And this week I have lots of recipes coming to Live and Lift, my fitness app, which is on the App Store. You can check it out and grab your free trial if you want to have a look for yourself, which is super exciting. So lots more like this on my app. And yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know what you would like to see next. If there's anything in particular you would like to see, pop it in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video.